Welcome to Salento with Love. I'm Davide Mengoli and thank God it's Friday. And today I have decided to do some smart working. Well, I think never like this year in 2020 we've understood really the meaning of smart working. In my case, my office is in Maglie and I'm in another town close to Maglie, so I'm only about 7 or 8 minutes drive. But it's nice sometimes to be able to enjoy the comfort of your own home. And today in particular, the weather is not amazing. You know, here in Salento we have blue sky, probably around about 330 days of the year. And so for those 30 days when the sky is not blue, then you really get some proper serious rain. And today it was one of those days. So, well, I think quite a lot of you are enjoying the Q&As, and I felt today, because it's a Friday and because I've decided to stay at home, to probably keep it on the loose and also trying to wrap up some of the things that I have covered in previous Q&As. So it would be nice perhaps for you to continue to ask me questions. If some of you look at the comments that I receive in previous Q&As, you can see how much interaction, and sometimes I actually get an email asking for specific questions. Now, I was thinking about Q&As, and I've also been thinking about some of the businesses that have been set up over these last few years, giving advice and holding hands to people that are looking at purchasing a property in Italy. Well, first of all, I must say I strongly disagree with the idea that Italy is a complicated country when it comes to buying a property. I strongly disagree with the fact that things are never clear and there is a lot of bureaucracy. What I do strongly believe is that, unfortunately, there is a lack of foreign companies that have set up here in Italy doing or dealing with real estate, like we have experienced in Spain, in Portugal and Greece and other places. And so what we do have is a situation where the people that are involved in the business of helping other people purchasing properties and going through all the different steps, not understanding the language, sometimes what we call a misunderstanding can lead to serious situations. And sometimes we translate those serious situations with too much bureaucracy or people trying to take advantage. Now, yes, there may be a situation where some estate agents or realtors have taken advantage of clients. But unfortunately, what I must say is that the effort that a real estate agent needs to make when dealing with a foreign client, it's much higher. Because where the foreign client is asking the obvious questions, the local client is not asking those questions because they know how things work. It's a little bit like an analogy. Today I've written a couple of analogies that I will probably mention. The first one is like the analogy of somebody that needs to tell you how to drive a car. Now, how annoying is that? You get in the car and you turn the engine on, or you press a button today, or you give a live command, and the car comes on, and if it is an automatic car, you put it on D, and you start pushing on the accelerator, and you know exactly what to do. You don't need somebody to tell you, stop, brake, change gear, steer to the right, steer to the left, put the indicator on. No, you just have a passenger there. Now imagine a situation where you're doing the obvious as a realtor here, and somebody is starting to ask so many questions. And yes, of course, that's their job. You may believe that that's what they're there for, but really that's not what they're there for. They're there to pick up instructions from the seller, and they're all eager to get the best product on board as estate agents or realtors, and then putting it out there, sometimes in the window, sometimes online, and for you to find it. They don't expect to be there guiding you in every little step, and what do we do, and what are the taxes, and what is this, and what is that, and how do I do this, and how do I transfer the funds. They're not there for that. And so sometimes, of course, in the process of them trying to help, because ultimately they want to sell the property, because they do make quite a lot of money in commission by selling the property. Doesn't matter if they sell it to you or someone else, the commission will still be the same. They obviously want to sell the property. They make mistakes because they venture into a ground which is consultancy and advice, which is not their grounds. So we all agree with that. They can drive, but they can't tell you constantly why they're changing the gear, why they're steering to the left, and why they're doing this. And they just drive. They just get in the car and drive. So first thing, they're not geared up to give advice, and the language barrier sometimes could create a serious issue. Now, the other thing that I've noticed, well, today I'm smart working. We have two offices, one in Maglia, one in Nardoso. We actually have physical sites, but today I'm smart working. But what I have realized over the last probably few years, that there are a lot of people online offering guidance, consultancy and advice. That's fantastic. I may come into that category at some stage as well. I think we are a little different, to be honest, but I understand, people that they set up courses online to tell you exactly step by step what you should be doing and look out for. And in the process, I think sometimes they can scare you. Don't you agree? Be careful. They're out there to get you. Be careful. The Italians are there to do this to you. That's not true. So I'm probably more on the side of the consultants that are there just to answer your questions. Not to steer you in any directions, but just to give you the informations that you need to get in order to fulfill your vision and your dream, which is to buy a property in Italy. Now, I'm specifically focusing in an area called Salento, which is in the region of Puglia, which at the moment is the second most looked at region in all of Italy after Tuscany. So that's amazing. We're getting a lot of inquiries. But some people, rather than going through a consultant, they may sign themselves up on the forum. Several forums. There's so many forums on Facebook and other places. Now, it's amazing because every time I look at consultants that do this for a living, that offer things online, courses and YouTube videos and whatever else, they talk bad about forums. Now, I must say sometimes I fall into the same trap of saying bad things about forums, but I have actually been thinking about this. And in all the years that I lived in England, which it was until last year really, for all my life almost, I love to go to second-hand markets and flea markets and search and look for things. And I must say, I've picked up some amazing things over the years. I have a very large collection of small things that I've picked up, not just in England, but everywhere in the world I go to. I really love those places. And you may be one of them as well. But you do agree with me that it takes time and effort to search and rummage through things to find that jewel, that very special thing. Forums are very similar. See the difference? This was one of my other analogy that I wrote down today. It's very similar between going to a flea market and go to an antique shop. Now, you can go to a consultant who charges you to give you all the answers that you need so you can move forward with your decisions and your vision and potentially acquiring a property in Italy. Or you can rely on forums and other places where you can ask, and people that have had similar experiences, they jump on board and they're very eager to give you answers and explanations. And sometimes, very often, I'll see a question and I know what the answer is and I'm very tempted, but then I think, no, there is a lot of people out there that they really love the idea of offering support to other members and other fellow members that are on that forum. So I'll leave it to them. And it's true, when I look through sometimes some of the answers, they can be a little bit difficult to navigate. But there are some really solid information there that personally, as a professional, it will take me time to research and then deliver. And so that will come with a cost. So it's a little bit like the flea market. You may need time to go through and rummage through some of those information, but they can be very, very helpful. So I'm not going to discourage people from joining forums and asking questions, and then sometimes if they're not really 100% certain, or when they are ready to move on with a decision where they need to spend a considerable amount of money, people use this word invest, which I'll go back to it one day, but the decision is to spend a considerable amount of money, then perhaps have a proper consultant that just runs through some of your main points. So that's a very important thing. So I did say that Salento with Love, and specifically what we're doing here, we are a little different from probably a lot of these consultants online that you may find, and they do offer some incredible background and backup for you to be able to make the perfect choice. But when I approached the idea of setting up a company in the UK and in Italy, both of them registered as a limited company and an SRL here in Italy, and I decided to open a physical office and then open another physical office and then have a website and then really spend a huge amount of energy delivering some information through the social media, I decided that I really wanted to help people to achieve their dream, not just by telling them what to do, but by physically be there for them and do it with them. And I think that makes a difference. Obviously, there's only so much I can do, and we've set up a little team of people and we are growing. But the area that we cover, which is Salento, which is a large area, includes the provinces of Lecce, Brindisi and Taranto, although I would like to focus in the province of Lecce because I already do thousands of miles in a year. I really like to help people and use my expertise. I've done many projects, not just here in Salento, which I've done many projects here in Salento, but in London and in New York as well. And I have a real passion when it comes to real estate, refurbishment and picking up those jewels. And so my idea really is not just to deliver information, which I can do very aptly and free to anybody who needs them. And I research sometimes the questions and I'll make sure that if the answer doesn't come from me, it comes from a notaio, a notary, it comes from a solicitor, it comes from an architect, it comes from somebody who has the real solid answer to your question. But apart from answering questions, I really like to be there and help people step by step from the sourcing of the property, which is the aspiration. So really, what is it that you want? Where you want it? What do you want that property to do for you? So from that initial step to then acquiring the property, potentially refurbishing the property, which is a very exciting process. Don't let anyone discourage you. Well, I suppose if you're not there and if you don't have somebody that you can trust, potentially it could be sometimes, again, for those issues that I mentioned right at the beginning of this video, could become a little bit of an issue. But don't let anyone discourage you from putting your own seal of image and design to your property. You would feel it a lot more. So, and then really after that is done, the next service, who's going to look after your property? What I've set up here in Salento, if you look at our website, Salento with Love, under our services, we offer a whole range of property management. We look after your property when you're not here. So literally just by turning and having a look at it, having a place where your delivery can come, get your place ready when you're coming, doing some general maintenance, doing a maintenance report once a year. If you lose your keys, we'll have a set for you. If the alarm triggers, they will call us and we will answer that. So just basic services. And then you may decide to rent your property and generate revenue. So we also offer the opportunity to run that for you. We'll do a 24/7 concierge where we answer the inquiries. We book your people that want to use your property. We'll do the check-ins, we'll do the check-outs, we'll take care of the cleaning, we'll take care of the laundry, we'll take care of the maintenance. We do all of that. So you could be wherever you are in the world knowing that your property is getting looked after. So I don't know really if today this was a Q&A, but well, it is Friday. I did decide to do some smart working and chilling out and be a little bit more comfortable today. And so I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you are thinking seriously about having a property here in Puglia. Please write to me. Put a like if you've enjoyed this, not Q&A, whatever it is, this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more Q&As and a lot of other videos that I do, because I have a big passion for this land. Well, I have a big passion for a lot of things. And until next time, stay safe and have a good weekend wherever you are.